Floyd Mayweather's legacy is built on two things: his unbeatable record in the ring and his audacious approach to wealth and luxury. But behind the dazzling cars, the glistening jewelry, and the self-proclaimed money persona lies a man, grappling with the fragility of that very success. We've watched as Mayweather's lifestyle has often overshadowed his boxing prowess, with headlines filled not just with his latest knockout, but with his seemingly endless stream of high-end purchases. But there's a hidden side to that story: the financial troubles, the reckless spending, and the tension surrounding his public persona. In the world of professional sports, few athletes have ever reached the level of fame and fortune that Floyd Mayweather has. A boxer who isn't just known for his skill, but for his bravado, his brashness, and his belief that wealth isn't just something you accumulate, it's something you flaunt. When Floyd talks about money, it isn't just talk, it's a performance. It's part of the narrative he's built around himself, one that blurs the line between reality and spectacle. But as he continues to live larger than life, a storm is brewing. Behind the luxury, something darker is taking. In February 2025, Floyd made headlines once again, this time for a massive real estate. He boasted about acquiring 62 multifamily buildings in Upper Manhattan for $42 million without any partners involved. The headlines flashed across news outlets, but a closer look told a different story. Property records failed to confirm the full transfer of ownership. Was this another piece of his high-profile showmanship, or was he once again trying to paint a picture of financial stability that didn't quite match reality? The skepticism surrounding the deal only deepened the mystery of Floyd's finances, adding fuel to the fire of his already controversial wealth narrative. This kind of behavior isn't new. Floyd has built his reputation on luxury, on excess, on living a life most people could only dream of, but it's a dangerous game. And when his accountant, Dave Hall, revealed that Floyd had lost $500 million in just 6 months, the reality of his situation became undeniable. Floyd had spent more than he made, forgotten about taxes, bills, and the other financial responsibilities that come with his extravagant lifestyle. The money, once flowing like a river, began to vanish fast. Look, we all know what it's like to make money, but Floyd's life is different. When you're burning through hundreds of thousands a month, your savings quickly disappear, even if you're pulling in millions. Floyd's lavish spending isn't a matter of keeping up appearances. It's become a cycle he can't escape. With each new purchase, whether it's another diamond-encrusted watch or another fleet of luxury cars, he's proving something, that he can still afford it. But in reality, his financial situation is much more precarious than he lets on. Despite all of this, Floyd continues to play the part. He flaunts his million with an almost defiant swagger. Whether it's a new diamond chain from his friend Johnny Dang or a $1.8 million watch celebrating his 48th birthday, Floyd remains a walking spectacle of wealth. For him, money is more than a means to an end. It's his identity. The cars, the jewelry, the private jets, they're all part of the persona he's crafted. It's a lifestyle he believes he can maintain. But the cracks are showing. As fast as the money comes in, it's flying out the door, and the public is starting to take notice. Floyd's car collection alone tells a story. From Bugattis to Lamborghinis, his garage is a shrine to excess. Each vehicle isn't just a mode of transportation, it's a statement, a sign that Floyd is still on top. He's got 9 toys, as he calls them: Ferraris, Rolls Royces, and even a few G-Wagons. He talks about these cars as if they're symbols of success, and in many ways they are, but as he continues to add more cars to his already overflowing garage, it raises a question. How much of this is sustainable? How long can one man continue to live like this before the bubble bursts? And then there's the jewelry. Floyd's obsession with diamonds is well known, but in 2025 he took it to a new level. He dropped millions on luxury accessories, including an $18 million watch, a piece so rare and so extravagant that it seems to represent the very core of Floyd's existence. An unrelenting desire to shine, to be admired, to prove that he is the best, not just in boxing but in life. The spotlight is on him and he thrives in it. But there's a darker side to all this. Despite his immense wealth, Floyd has been dogged by rumors of tax issues, mounting financial concern. He owns 3 private jets. He even jokes that he uses them like Ubers. But when your expenses are as high as Floyd's, those jets become less a luxury and more a necessity. Floyd is in a constant race to keep up, to stay ahead of the financial club. The rich lifestyle that once seemed like an aspiration is now a cage, one that's getting harder to maintain. While Floyd's fortune may seem unshakable, the reality is much murkier. His spending habits have have come under scrutiny, with some even questioning whether his business deals, like those in real estate and casinos, are as legitimate as they appear. The paperwork, the legalities, the claims of ownership, all of it is shrouded in mystery. Floyd's lavish purchases are meant to show the world that he's still the king of wealth, but with each new acquisition comes more doubt, more question, and it's not just about his flashy toys and extravagant purchases. Floyd has been spending upwards of $75 million a year, which raises the stakes. While he may be making millions through boxing exhibitions and other ventures, his financial trajectory seems unsustainable. Even Joe Rogan has weighed in, noting how quickly Floyd's money is being spent. It's a cycle that requires constant renewal, constant income, just to maintain the lifestyle, and that kind of pressure builds up over time. Yet despite the mounting concerns, Floyd has remained unapologetic. His strategy, one that has inspired a new generation of fighters, focuses less on boxing and more on the business of boxing. He's built a brand that's synonymous with wealth, and whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny his influence. But the question remains, can this kind of lifestyle last forever? Floyd's legacy, as he sees it, isn't just about boxing. It's about money, an obsession that has shaped every part of his life. He believes in accumulating wealth, in being the richest, in being the best. But as his financial empire shows signs of cracking, one has to wonder, is Floyd Mayweather the greatest boxer to ever live, or is he simply the greatest spender of his generation? As the world watches Floyd Mayweather's every move, it's impossible to ignore the mounting sense of unease that follows him. His opulent displays of wealth, on full display for everyone to see, are starting to ring hollow. In his early career, Floyd's fortune seemed like a badge of honor. It was a symbol of his genius, a manifestation of the sacrifices he made, and a reflection of his unmatched ability in the ring. But now, as he drapes himself in diamonds and parades his cars like trophies, there's a nagging question that keeps cropping up. Is Floyd still in control, or is he just desperately trying to outrun the consequences of a life built on excess? The truth is, Floyd's financial empire is teetering on the edge of collapse. Every new luxury purchase, every over-the-top gesture only serves to highlight how deep in debt he may actually be. It's the ultimate irony. A man who once controlled the narrative of his success is now struggling to maintain that very image. Floyd's bravado, his larger-than-life persona, is built on a carefully curated illusion. He has surrounded himself with yes-men and sycophants, people who reinforce the narrative that he is untouchable, that he can never be brought down by the harsh realities of his lifestyle. But deep down, Floyd knows the truth. He knows that the empire he's built is fragile, built on the shifting sands of credit, debt, and perpetual spending. He's not the self-made mogul he once claimed to be. His empire isn't untouchable. It's barely held together by sheer force of will. And as time goes on, the cracks in the facade grow more pronounced. He's being forced to live in the shadow of his own wealth, and the pressure is starting to mount. It's the kind of pressure that even the greatest boxer in history can't avoid. Behind closed doors, the weight of Floyd's decisions is starting to take its toll. His spending habits have become a constant point of contention among his inner circle. Friends, family, and even financial advisors are growing concerned. At one point, his trainer and longtime confidant, Roger Mayweather, expressed worries that Floyd was losing sight of his priorities. "It's not about the money, Floyd," Roger told him. "It's about the fight, the work you put in." But Floyd, ever the performer, couldn't hear him. The lavish lifestyle was too intoxicating. The idea of living in constant opulence, too alluring. Yet the reality is inescapable. No matter how much money Floyd flaunts, it's becoming clearer with every passing day that he's walking a financial tightrope. The higher he climbs, the farther he has to fall. In many ways, Floyd has become a cautionary tale, the very embodiment of the dangers of excess. His story is no longer just about the triumphs in the ring, it's about the cautionary lessons he's leaving behind for the next generation of athletes. His younger counterparts, like Gervonta Davis, look up to, not just for his skill, but for his wealth. But what they may fail to see is the price Floyd has paid to maintain that image.